What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the all-new Lincoln Navigator. This one is the Black Label, finished off in Sunrise Copper with an MSRP at $128,000. Let's get right into Lincoln's flagship SUV, see what this thing has to offer. Underneath the hood of the all-new Lincoln Navigator, you're going to find the 3.5-liter twin turbocharged V6. This is making 440 horsepower with 510 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to a 10-speed automatic. We do have a 4-wheel drive transfer case. And then curb weight is around 6,000 pounds. This one has the 24-inch wheel, so max towing capacity is 8,500 pounds. We also have a 23-gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 15 miles per gallon in the city with 22 out on the highway. The overall length is 210 inches with wheelbase at 122.5. Width is 80 inches, and then height is 78 inches. Approach angle is going to be 19.3 degrees, with breakover angle at 19.4 degrees. Ground clearance is 8.9 inches, and then departure angle is 23.1 degrees. Now moving on to the exterior styling with the newest Lincoln Navigator Black Label. This is the flagship trim and flagship vehicle. It has a super bold appearance. I really like these LED headlights, and then you have this connecting LED bar from one light to the other with an illuminated Lincoln logo. You're going to get some gloss black trim throughout the upper grille with massive openings, active grille shutters in back. And you can see more openings down below with a lot of gloss black trim. You can see the forward-facing parking sensors and just really smooth lines throughout the front to give it a classy style. Up on the hood, we have some bold lines leading towards that windshield with some sharp lines throughout the center. Now this is also based on the Ford Expedition. This is of course the luxury version coming from Lincoln. So it has a very similar style overall to that, but a much more classy shape and just character. This one has the upgraded 24-inch wheels finished in this really nice gloss black. You got this multi-spoke design, side parking sensor, reflector, sharp line throughout the side as well. And then you have some clean lines cut through the whole side profile. This even has automatic deploying side running boards when you open up the doors, and then you're going to get body colored on the door handles, and then a nice gloss black trim piece that says Navigator written through it. We're going to get all gloss black on the side mirrors with a camera and turn signal, and then this has a two-tone style with the blacked out roof. All the window areas are all blacked out as well. Got your roof rails and then a panoramic sunroof up above. Now this is the standard size Navigator. You can get a longer version actually, but this one has a nice side profile. Of course it has that jumbo SUV character. And then there is a pretty cool little etching in the glass, these little stripes you can kind of see. So it just gives it a little touch. And then coming towards the rear end of it, you can see that massive LED bar for the taillights. Got more of the black throughout all the rear windows. It'll even illuminate Lincoln back here with that connecting bar. And then down below we have more of the gloss black trim, all your parking sensors, trailer hitches underneath the cover. And then we have just a really clean design in back. You can see just those nice horizontal lines, very squared off, giving it a super classy appearance. Taking a look at the key fob, you're going to get lock, unlock, remote start. You also have the tailgate release, and then we have the Lincoln badge on the back. If you keep the key in your pocket with the doors locked, of course you just grab the door handle, automatically unlocks, and we can take a look at the interior. Now this one has the Enlightened theme interior, so they don't technically have color names, they just have different themes for each style of interior, but this is a nice brown and black. You're going to take a look at the door panel and get all this nice brown leather throughout the upper section with contrast stitching. We have our window controls as well, lock and unlock, release handle, nice padded armrest, and then there is more storage all down below with a large speaker grille. Got the Black Label name written out on that door sill. A lot of your power controls are going to be right on the side of the seat, finished in the silver. And then we have these really nice leather seats with perforations. We have independent leg supports, bolster support, lumbar support. The upper section of the seat is independent. We have automatic headrest as well. So we'll go through all those cool features on these seats. And then we have a super unique looking style for this 2-spoke steering wheel in somewhat of a rectangle shape. There's a leather trim on it as well with the Lincoln badge and a two-tone color. And then now inside the all-new Lincoln Navigator, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. You're going to get your 48-inch screen turning on, as well as an 11.1-inch screen. For the steering wheel, you're going to see these touch-sensitive icons on the left and the right side that have a pretty unique style to them. You're also going to get the stock on the left side for turn signals, and then we have the windshield wipers over on that right side. So in order to use these buttons, we're going to take a look at the screen right here. So as I touch them, you can see that is where my thumb is corresponding to. And then you basically just touch part of the screen to make it all work. For the right side, same sort of deal. We have your volume on these top buttons and bottom buttons, and then the top left corner is where you can adjust your steering column, your pedals, rotate your mirrors in, and then we can adjust your actual mirrors right here. So it takes a little bit getting used to, but again, you just kind of correspond your finger to it and it all works. So it's not too bad once you get used to it. On the left side, we can open up the split tailgate, just the top portion or the whole thing, electronic park and brake. You're gonna need this nice wood trim, this soft touch leather, and then we have more of this leather all throughout it. You can see how that screen wraps around. We got a massive speaker in here as well. And then for the right side of the screen, we have a configurable design. We have trip, tire pressure, and fuel economy right now. However, to adjust that, we just tap this icon right here, and you basically just drag and drop. So you can drag and drop it and make it how you'd like. So overall, it's pretty simple to mess with, and you can kind of get just a cool bit of information up there. With that screen, you can also go into your apps and go to Rejuvenate, and it will give you something kind of relaxing. You can do a 5-minute or 10-minute session, and basically it'll adjust your seat, the climate controls, and all that, and just give you a relaxing place to hang out. So unique design the way they've done it. You have more of this leather trim all throughout the right side, more air vents and the wood trim, and then moving to the center multimedia screen. So home screen kind of has the blend of everything. If we tap the icon right there, we have a lot of different settings in the car. So drive modes are going to pop up. You can configure which one you'd like. Then we have driver memory to adjust your seat and go back to the profile you have it set. For seats, we can further make adjustments. I can move this second row out of the way, which is a great touch to help fold things down. I can even get this passenger seat moving by just this control. And then we have all of these controls. Like I said, you can go into individual leg supports and then make them go up and down. So when you take a look at that, you can see how it's going in and out. So a really good way just to further maximize everything. Upper portion of the seat, you can also independently adjust. You have the headrest, the massage, and everything. So lots of cool information there. We have more settings you can go through. You can see all of that. And then if we go into here, we have even more icons that are going to pop up. Of course, we go back into this screen. This is all the presets you're able to adjust. We have your Apple CarPlay you can get into, and then for climate, you can go into this screen, and this is actually how you adjust your direction. So it is a little interesting, kind of an overcomplicated design for something that was so simple. But as you can tell, those move up and down as I move my finger. So these are not manual at all. You have to use the screen. We have your different zones as well, and there are a couple presets on where you'd like the air to go. We also have our rear icon, where I can adjust their temperature as well as the fan speed. We can exit out of there. Now you are going to get all these controls always up, so temperature, heated, ventilated seats, steering wheel, fan speed, all that is always configurable. So overall, while it looks pretty fancy having all this, it's actually really simple to use, aside from maybe just adjusting the direction is a little out of the way. We also have a camera shortcut right here, and you're going to get that forward camera, top-down view. And then you can also further the views by just tapping these plus icons, and it's actually going to go into a more zoomed in design, as you can tell up on that screen. And if I go into reverse, backup camera of course will pop up. Back into park now. So you're gonna get those controls all down below. Start stop, we have the gear, you can go plus and minus, volume right here, and then we also have auto start stop and a shortcut to your drive modes. So nice touch to see that. You're gonna see more of the leather trim. We also have hidden storage all down below that. This wood style trim is pretty cool as well. You're gonna get 2 cup holders. We also have wireless phone charging and a couple USBs, and then nice leather for your armrests. There's a button on each side to open that up, and we have a ton of hidden space. Glove box, as you would expect, large bucket. And then one last look at the interior. Pretty fancy, of course, but pretty nice at the same time. You're gonna get a nice look at the seats and everything. And then making our way up, we have a really nice suede headliner, sunroof for the front and rear passengers, and then we have a sunglass holder, all of our dome lights, just a thin mirror, and garage door buttons underneath the visor with plenty of speakers throughout the headliner. Taking a look at the second row for the Lincoln Navigator, just grabbing the door handle, open it up. The rear door panel is finished off just like we saw up front with the nice brown leather, got the silver trim. You are going to get power controls back here, so we have all that. And then you can see the same style seating with the perforated seats and that nice look. So this one's going to get a center console here. So we have the same armrest we saw up front that you're able to open. We have 2 bags in there for your headphones. That way you can configure and listen to the TV screens. And then in the center, we have another area that you can open up, and we're going to get wireless phone charging along with 2 more cup holders. Up in front, we have the sunshade button for that sunroof, and then we can have extra plugs. We can also pop this one down. We have 2 more cup holders. And then in the front of the center console, we can lift this up and you're gonna get extra hidden space all down below. Now, once sitting in the back, you're gonna get a small touchscreen. So if we go into here, we're actually able to make a lot of adjustments for your seats. I can make further adjustments. I can turn the massage on, heated and cooled, and I can even get the passenger seat out of the way by just touching this button. So really cool to have all these configurations. Back to the home screen, I can actually control the audio, both the volume as well as what is on the radio, or even CarPlay. So backseat person can be your radio DJ, which is really cool to see. We have climate control back here. You're gonna get fan speed, temperature, and zone. And then we have air quality and some ambient lighting you can take a look at. The TV screens will pop up and there can be some streaming services and things like that. Now, as far as sitting back here at 5'11", honestly, I sit back here pretty good. I wouldn't mind being able to lower the seat. I do feel just a little high up. However, depending on how you feel about sitting in a back seat as an adult, you know, it does give you a good view around actually, so maybe you're not gonna get any car sickness back here. You can, of course, recline it. It's pretty good overall. The seats feel a little stiff. I wouldn't mind them being more plush. You know, this price tag, you know, you're looking at high-end Mercedes 3-row SUVs, and I feel like they're a bit more plush. So that's kind of my only complaint, just a little stiff back here. And then as far as air vents goes, the only ones are in the headliner, which is the best spot for air vents, especially with car seats. However, I wouldn't mind a couple extra, just given this is very expensive. We do have a hookup here, more speakers, you have the lights as well. But overall, you have plenty of space, good legroom, plenty of headroom. So it's a fine back seat for sure, just wouldn't mind a little bit more comfortable seat. Now to move on to the 3rd row seat, there's gonna be a button right back here we can press, and it's going to get these seats out of the way. It slides forwards and then will lift upwards as well. So from here, we do have 3 seats, and they're all finished in the same leather style. We have the perforations, and then in the center, it's actually independent as well. We have power controls back here, along with those cup holders, and then there's even gonna be heated rear seats. So sitting back here now at 5'11", I can recline this seat, which is quite nice to give myself a little bit more space. And actually, it's a pretty roomy interior. We have the buttons on the back to get this back out of the way. And what's nice is these actually go really quick versus just like using the physical buttons down below. But with this back into my position, again, at my height, I sit here pretty well. A little high up here, but I still have headroom. You're gonna get air vents up in the ceiling. And overall, it's a pretty good 3rd row. 3 grown-ups, honestly, can fit fine back here. And you definitely have a lot of space. Seats are a little stiff, but they are full size, so they're supporting my legs nicely. So not too bad for sure. Now moving on to the cargo space, there's gonna be a hidden button underneath right there, and the upper section of the tailgate is gonna open up. Now with that, we have the split design. You can then press that, and you can configure it to all open at the same time. Now, depending on how you have the seat set up, the rearmost cargo area, you're gonna get around 22 cubic feet of cargo space. We have storage, dome lights, all those controls to configure the seats. And then there's even more hidden space down under the floor. And you can set this up and lock it into place to have somewhat of a bench back here for extra cargo space. Now, with these, you can put all the seats down at once or just, of course, left or right. And that opens it up to around 65 cubic feet of cargo volume, again, depending on how far you have the seats folded upwards. But in that configuration, you can see we have a ton of space here, giving you a lot of options. And then in the 3rd row, you can see all the storage as well as those buttons. All right, so setting off now in the Navigator. I will say that Turbo V6 packs a punch. This thing really does get up to speed when you need it to. With all that, normal driving, I'm just leaving it in the conserved drive mode. We're in 2-wheel drive, so kind of just the most efficient way you could get in a jumbo SUV. But overall, the view out is super unique. Of course, seeing this massive 48-inch screen is something very different. However, once you kind of live with it a little bit, it is really simple. You got the built-in nav, couple of vitals, your speed right in the center, which is really all you need, and then a couple just vitals throughout the car. You could have, you know, your audio up there as well. So nice design overall, really, and it's not, you know, too confusing to use. You get used to it very quickly. Steering wheel also a little odd having this yoke style. It does feel a little weird to get used to, of course, but you have a really good view around, just a massive windshield, great visibility all around it. Literally no complaints as far as any of that goes. Now, ride quality, we have a semi-adaptive suspension, so it's not like a full air ride or anything like that that you might see in an Escalade or maybe a GLS. However, on the 24s, I will say it is a little bit rougher than I would expect. You know, now most of the time people, they comment a lot about, you know, bigger rims creating a more uncomfortable ride. Most cars, I don't really notice it. This I do notice, maybe just because they're 24s, they're very low profile for such a large vehicle. It does feel a little bit bumpy for something that should be super plush. So, you know, maybe the 24s honestly are not the way to go. Stick with the 22s on a vehicle like this. But I definitely do feel a little bit of bumps in the road, which I wasn't expecting. Seats themselves are fantastic. They cradle you so well, especially with the million different ways you can configure everything. It is so cool that just have all of that. You can get your back perfectly supported, which I really like. I mean, my legs are perfectly supported. Fantastic seats. They are very plush. Just when you pair these super nice seats with a little bit of bumpier ride, you know, it does kind of take away some of the, you know, super duper luxury that you would expect from something like this. So maybe ditch the 24s, but other than that though, definitely comfortable to sit in here. The armrests are really nice. You just have a lot of space up front, and everything does work very easy. You get used to these touch sensitive icons. I mean, volume is really what you're gonna use most of the time. It is super easy. Climate control, your basics are always right there. So again, that's really nothing annoying or anything to get used to. I guess the only complaint would be overcomplicating something so simple like adjusting these. However, once you kind of set them, you pretty much never adjust them again. Taking that, you can feel how solid the build quality is in this vehicle, and even that didn't feel too bumpy. All right, so ending thoughts now with the Lincoln Navigator. So style-wise inside and out, it looks, you know, fancy and elegant. It's got that cool look to it for sure. The 48-inch screen, so you're also going to see that on General Motors. I believe the Cadillac Escalade, which is the strongest competitor to this, has that same type of wraparound screen design. It is one of those things where they're selling you on the fanciness of, wow, 48-inch screen. Personally, it's not necessary. I mean, tire pressure, the clock, and the fuel economy is what I have up there right now. I mean, you can have that in a 3-inch screen and be just fine. You don't need to see that on a 24-inch screen on that side. So technically, it's very gimmicky. It looks cool. I mean, it makes interior fancy. I'm curious if anyone is going to use the rejuvenate icon and kind of have that, you know, 5 to 10 minute little massage in here. I'm curious if anybody's doing that, given, you know, it's a car, it's meant for driving. Are you really going to sit in your car and do that? Maybe carpool line or something like that. So I don't know, I think in my opinion, lately, like the modern luxury cars, they're really selling you on the tech, which for me, if I'm buying a luxury car, I'm buying it because of ride quality, comfort, and smooth power. That, in my opinion, is what a luxury car should be all about. So these days, you know, the tech is really what is selling people. Curious if a lot of people like really, really love that sort of tech. However, when you do drive it though, it does have the power. I mean, this is really good power. Maybe not everyone's gonna like that there's no V8 in a car like this at this price tag, but that twin turbo engine has some power where it moves. So I have no complaints with the engine, with the transmission, and then the whole drivetrain setup. This thing moves out of the way. For a heavy vehicle, I mean, you move and it sounds pretty good too. So I like the drivetrain a lot. I love the seats, just how comfortable they are. You are nice and high up. And even with this crazy dash setup, it feels sunken low to where you do have such a good view around. So I like just having that open, airy feeling in this to where you just are in command of the road. So that right there goes a long way in having a 6-figure jumbo luxury SUV. You feel like you are the boss out on the road. And that is something that you should feel if you're buying something like this price tag, this size. So it is pretty unique with that aspect. Space-wise, it's not the most practical in terms of actual space. You can't fold the second row down. However, a lot of high-end luxury cars, they're not really about the utility like maybe a base model Expedition Max, where it's all about, you know, cargo space, throwing a lot of people in. This is more about 4 people are going to be super comfortable and a couple people in the third row in a pinch if you don't need any of the cargo space. And it does do all that really well. But overall, there is the newest Lincoln Navigator Black Label. It is a cool option. They have a lot of different trim levels. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.